Thank you for coming. No, I won't shake hands, thanks. Well, this is it. I used to live here. This used to be a row of terraced houses on one side and a row of back-to-backs on the other. This is number 5. Not a back-to-back, oh no. This was one of the posher houses. It was my grandfather's house, and it passed down the line to my father. He owned it for the rest of his life. And then it became mine. Mine was a normal household. We only had 6 children, 2 girls, our Fanny and Selina, plus the 4 boys, James, William, Robert, he was named after his father, and our John. That's where John used to work before the war. The local butcher offered him a job, and he soon became known to the neighbourhood, riding the delivery bicycle around the area. I used to live here. The street was cobbled in those days. You'd see the occasional hansom bring the doctor, but it wasn't an everyday happening. Old Ma Riley would listen out for the sound of hooves and stand by the door in expectation, hoping for a little something for the pots of flowers in the court. Sometimes she was lucky like that. Her George was wounded fighting. It was her Walter who was on the Titanic. Sad that was. Selina worked for the local draper before she married and moved away. Fanny was the clever one. She was a pupil teacher before becoming a full-time teacher. But not round here. She moved away. We didn't see much of her after that. It was the family at number 4 who had the crippled boy. Young Daniel Potter. Polio it was when he was 6. Number 6 was where the Bird family lived. Trevor worked on the trams like his father did before him. And that's where Emma Robinson lived. Her Herbert used to work as a table knife halter. They had 3 boys. They played on the street when they were small. Not that anyone does now. They'd use a fruit crate for a wicket in the cricket games. When the ball hit her window, Ma Riley would come out and shout at him. The Robinson boys all went into cutlery. I used to live here. Looking at this new building, you'd hardly credit it with being home for us back then. 8 houses in the court and 1 pump. Fine red bricks they were, but you'd need one of Worcester Home's finest to scrape off the soot. Number 8 was over there. Doris White lived there. She had 3 daughters. I never saw Mr. White. Some say he was killed in a mining accident, but others say he died of TB. I bet Doris thought she'd get more sympathy by making up the story of the accident. Doris trained as a midwife. She brought quite a few into the world. Not like Emily Roberts. That was where Emily Roberts used to live. She was always being called on to lay people out. I expect she would have done... No, maybe not. She needed a body to work with. I used to live here. Our boys went off to fight the Hun, but they didn't come home. I never heard the bombs that fell that night during the war. I used to live here.
The Cornucopia Radio Show podcast, proving there's more to the internet than just pornography, skateboarding dogs, and Nigerian businessmen.